Very good morning to all of you. Today I want to start Module 2 of Session 1. Title of the Module 2 is Stress Distribution in Soils. For this Module 2, course outcome is given understanding of stress distribution and resulting settlement beneath the loaded footings on sand and clay soils. So this is the course outcome. Subject title is Applied Geotechnical Engineering and subject code is 18CV62 of 6 semesters in civil engineering departments. These are the contents of session 1's Bosnisch theory and assumptions. Assumptions of Bosnisch equations. Assumptions of Westergaard formula. And comparison of Bosnisch and Westergaard equations. Limitations of Bosnisch and Westergaard's analysis. So these are the contents of their today's session 1 class. I want to explain in details of all these contents in today's class. Now let us see Bosnisch theory and assumptions. Bosnisch theory and assumptions. See here, this is the diagrams. This is the ground levels at a depth Z. So these are the soil particles and this is the point loads. Due to applying P loads on the foundation, soil particles are moving together towards left side and right sides at a depth of Z of the foundation. So then how stresses are occurs? Okay. It is necessary to know that the way, extent and distribution of stress created within the soil by foundation loads for the design of footings. Stress in soils is caused by the first or both of the following, that is self-weight of soil, structural loads applied at or below the surface. Many problems in foundation engineering requires a study of the transmission and distribution of stresses in large and extensive masses of soils. Some examples are wheel loads transmitted through embankments to culverts, foundation pressures transmitted to soil strata below footings, pressures from isolated footings transmitted to retaining walls, and wheel loads transmitted through stabilized soil pavements to subgrade below. In such cases, the stresses are transmitted in all downward and lateral directions. Estimation of vertical stresses at any point in a soil mass due to external loading is essential to the prediction of settlements of buildings, bridges and embankments. The theory of elasticity, which gives primarily the interrelationship of stresses and strains, has been the basis for the determination of stresses in a soil mass. According to the elastic theory, constant ratios exist between stresses and strains. For the theory to be applicable, the real requirement is not that the material necessarily be elastic, but that there must be constant ratios between stresses and the corresponding strains. It is known that only at relatively small magnitudes of stresses The proportionality between strains and stresses exists in the case of soil. Fortunately, the order of magnitudes of stresses transmitted into soil from structural loadings is also small, and hence the applications of the elastic theory for determination of stresses distribution in soil gives reasonably valid results. The most widely used theories regarding distribution of stresses in soil are those of Bosnisk and Westergaard. They have developed first for point loads and later. The values for point load have been integrated to give stresses below uniform strip loads, uniformly loaded circular and rectangular areas. A simple approach is provided by assuming linear pressure distribution, but a rigorous method of surface loading is given by Bosnisk and is widely used. Bosnisk's theory starting with a point load is applied to uniformly loaded circular areas and uniformly loaded rectangular areas. So these are the assumptions of Bosnisk equations. The soil mass is an elastic medium for which the modulus of elasticity E is constant. Second assumption is the soil mass is homogeneous, that is, all its constituently or elements are similar and it has identical elastic properties at every point in it in identical directions. Next assumption is the soil mass is isotropic, that is, it has identical elastic properties in all directions through any point of it. The soil mass is semi-infinite, that is, it extends infinitely in all directions below a level surface. Next assumption is the soil is weightless. Here, soil is weightless. Next assumption is the load is a point acting on the surface. The load is a point acting on the surface. So these are the assumptions of Bosnisk equations to derive the Bosnisk theory equations. Okay. So here this is the diagram. See here, this is the ground surface and this is depth of foundation at Z in meters. This arrow mark downward is acting as a downward force, and this point P acting at a distance, radial distance R, away from the centroidal axis, and this P is acting at an inclined force This diagram is referred as vertical pressure within an earth mass. The expression obtained by Bosnisk for computing vertical stress at point P as shown above figure 2.2 due to a point load Q is given by the equations sigma z equal to 3q times cos beta by 2 pi r. So this is equation 1, where r is the radial, that is hypotenuse, is given root of z square plus r square here. So this is z and this is r, and sigma z equal to sigma r times cos square beta. Here the equation is derived 3q times cos cube beta by 2 pi r square is nothing but a 3q z cube by 2 pi times r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2. This is equation number 2. And to calculate horizontal distance of shear stress, tau rz is given by the equation half of sigma r times sin beta, where tau rz is called tangential stress. Tau rz is called tangential stress. After derivations, tau rz is nothing but a 3q by 2 pi into rz square by r square plus z square to the power of 5 by 2 is nothing but a 3q by 2 pi z square into 1 by 1 plus r by z square whole to the power of 5 by 2, where small r, the horizontal distance between the arbitrary point P below the surface and vertical axis through the point load Q. The z, the vertical depth of the point P from the surface, is given by the equation sigma z equal to q by z square into kb, where kb is nothing but a 3 by 2 pi into 1 by 1 plus r by z square whole to the power of 5 by 2 is called Bosnian stress. Coefficient, next, Bosnian influence factor, or it is called Bosnian stress coefficients for vertical pressure, that is under point load, when r equal to 0. So then sigma z is given by the equation 0.4775 times q by z square. Now this next is assumptions of Westergaard formula. Assumptions of Westergaard formula. The soil is neither isotrophic nor homogeneous. According to Westergaard formula, the soil is neither isotrophic nor homogeneous. Next assumption is, when the soil particles get deposited in water, when the soil particles get deposited in water, typical clay strata usually have the lenses of coarser materials within them. These next assumptions of Westergaard equations, the soil of this type can be assumed as laterally reinforced by numerous closely spaced horizontal sheets of negligible thickness but of infinite rigidity, which prevent the mass as a whole from undergoing lateral movement of soil grains. Okay. Third assumption is numerous closely spaced horizontal sheets of negligible thickness but of infinite rigidity. Okay. Next, Westergaard's formula for the computation of vertical stress, that is sigma z by a point load q at the surface, as given by the equation sigma z equal to q by 2 pi z square into root of 1 minus 2 mu by 2 minus 2 mu by 1 minus 2 mu by 2 minus mu plus r by z square whole to 3 by 2 is nothing but a q by z square into kb. This is equation number 3, where mu is the Poisson ratio. If mu is taken as 0 for all practical purposes, equation 3 becomes to sigma z equal to q by z square pi by z square into 1 by 1 plus 2 times r by z square whole to the power of 3 by 2 is nothing but a q by z square into kw. This is equation number 4, where kw is Westergaard stress coefficient is given 1 by pi whole divided by 1 plus 2 times r by z square whole to the power of 3 by 2. So this is the final equations to calculate vertical stress at a depth of z for the given point loads. Next is, we have seen Bosni's equation and Westergaard equations, but what is the difference between Bosni's equation and Westergaard equations? How to compare? How to compare Bosni's and Westergaard equations? See, this is the diagrams. This is the ground levels, acting point load Q, and this left side is distance of 0.5 meter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, 2 meter, and right side is also at a distance 0.5 meter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, 2 meter, and Q is acting at a depth of z. This diagram is z equal to 1 meter. This diagram is z equal to 2 meter depth. How stress are acted. Okay. Here, see, while applying the acting the point load Q, okay. Here this first curve is Bosni's equations, and the second curve is Westergaard equations. And at a depth of z equal to 2 meter means if the depth of the foundation is increased with the same point loads, how stress are there? See, slightly it's flats, means stress are distributed fast, means lesser, more the depth, stresses are becomes decreased. So this diagram is nothing but a stress distribution on horizontal planes. See these diagrams. So this is the ground levels, and load is acting at a corners. Here load is acting at the center of the buildings, but here load is acting at the any one corner of the building. Then how stress acts and how to calculate. So this is Q is acting at a corner, and this is the distance 0.2 meters, 0.4 meter, 0.6 meter, 0.8 meter, and at a depth z along these directions. How stresses, if load is increased, that is Q is increased, how stresses are occurs at a depth of z. See, this first curve is Bosni's equation, and this second curve is Westergaard equation. So while seeing this diagram, Bosni's equation, if used, stresses are increased, but while using the Westergaard equations, if the depth of the foundation is increased, stresses is decreased. Means from figure 2.3a, it is clear from the figure that the stress is greatest directly under the load, but extremely indefinitely in all directions. The greater the depth, smaller the concentration of stresses was integrated over the area. The total force would equal the applied load Q. The total force would equal the applied force Q. Figure 2.3b also illustrates the difference in the distribution of stresses as per the Bosni's and Westergaard equations. The vertical stress distribution with the depth along the vertical plane below the load is shown in figure B. The stresses at the surface directly below the load through tends to infinitely theoretically, but in really reaches a finite value as the load occupies a finite area. See these diagrams. Values, how to calculate the values for Kb or Kw, how to use the equation coefficient values for Bosni's or Westergaard formula. So this is the tables, mathematical diagrams. This direction is r by z, this direction is distance. So then you select the Kw value with respect to this plot, and KLB Bosni's concept coefficient use this curve to calculate vertical stress. It is clear that from the curves that the Westergaard equation gives values consistently less than the Bosni's for the same point loads up to a ratio R by Z equal to 1.5. Okay. When the ratio exceeds stresses as per Westergaard formula gives a greater stress. For all ratios of R by Z less than about 0.8, the vertical stresses as per Westergaard formula is approximately equal to 2/3 of the values given by the Bosni's formula. Engineers still prefer to use Bosni's equation for the computation of vertical stresses, since the settlement computed from these stresses give conservative values. This slide is explained for limitations of Bosni's and Westergaard analysis. Following are the limitations of both Bosni's and Westergaard analysis. Soil is not a true elastic material as per the Bosni's and Westergaard. Soil is not a true elastic material. Soil is not a true elastic materials. Whenever we are considering soil particle, it not a true elastic material. The constant relationship of Young's modulus of elasticity E may be assumed to hold good for many soil provides the load only increases and the stresses induced are all below the failure points. Okay. Third limitation is here E value may hold good, and if the load is increases, stresses fails below the point loads. Next, limitations of Bosni's and Westergaard analysis. When the load is decrease, the E ratio, that is Young's modulus of soil, E ratio no longer remains constant. When the load is decreased, the E ratio no longer remains constant. So here this is also most important limitations. The actual soil is not perfectly homogeneous as per the Bosnick and Westergaard analysis. The actual soil is not perfectly homogeneous. Often it is heterogeneous and consists of layers of different materials which may have different thickness and inclinations. Okay, if the soil is heterogeneous, it contains different thickness and inclinations. So that's why soil is not a perfectly homogeneous as per Bosni's and Westergaard equations. Compared to sand deposits, so now with respect to sandy soils or cohesionless soils, with respect to sandy soil comparisons, homogeneous deep deposits of clay may be considered to the assumptions of the Bosni's analysis. Comparing to sand deposit, homogeneous deep deposits of clay may be considered to the assumptions of the Bosni's equations or Bosni's analysis that sandy soil is used. For clay deposits, if the sandy soil, Bosni's equation, and for clay soils is theirs to calculate the vertical stress at a depth Z with point loads. So then which equation is used as per the limitations? A clay deposit with thin layers or lenses of coarser material within it is a practical approximation of Westergaard assumptions. Okay, a clay deposit means if the soil is clay layers, okay, and your depth of the foundation is filled by clay soils, and applying the point loads Q at a depth Z, then the clay layer becomes thin layers or lenses of coarse material. Practically, approximation of Westergaard assumption is used. The Bosnius equation is reasonably reliable for homogeneous soils. Okay. Now, all of you remember in which soil which equation is used. If we are using homogeneous soils or homogeneous type of soil is available in the foundation, so then you calculate vertical stress with respect to design load at a depth Z. You use Bosnius equations, that is sigma z equal to 3q by 2 pi square into 1 by 1 plus r by z whole square to the power 5 by 2. The Westergaard analysis is used for stratified soil deposits. In which condition, in which area Westergaard equation is? Stratified soil deposits means different soil layers are there. So then you use Westergaard analysis for calculation of vertical stress at a depth of Z with respect to given point load at a radial distance R to know the total stress. Okay. Now these are the references. Okay, these are the references are referred for explanation of session 1 of module 2. So, and some IS code is also referred for session 1. Okay, thank you one and all. Next class I will be continue.